What is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of the EOM Combat Coverage podcast. If y'all haven't yet, make sure you like, subscribe this video, continue to show support. Fresh off of episode number 1 with Maurice Mayhem Morris, doing crazy numbers. I appreciate y'all for the love and support. Let's keep that momentum going, because as always, I do this for you guys, and Holy Spirit use me. We're gonna get into this action. Let's go. All right, so today, we are here at Flash MMA Gym, place that I've been looking forward to coming to for a long time. Here with my boy right here, Coach Zack, Mathiew,
yes,
owner, instructor, Flash MMA. A little bit about Zack, man. I've been floating around the MMA space in Lafayette for a little minute, ever since I started to pursue this full time and cover the sport fully. I've always heard the name Flash MMA, Zack. I never tied the two together though. I always thought it was different people, but nothing but good things about this brother that I heard. Come to find out, I've been following him on Instagram for a good 2 years possibly before I actually had a conversation with him. And we had connected on Instagram about potentially meeting me, filming a class, and come and document the gym. I loved what he was doing spiritually and also physically for his clients. And I went to a party, I attended a birthday party, and I talked to one of the fighters that he trained that was good friends with me. And he was like, man, the best work that I've got as an MMA fighter came from this dude right here, Zack. And he was like, if I got with this dude at the beginning of my career, ain't no telling where I would have got. So Zack, it's a privilege, it's an honor to talk with you, man.
Thank you for having me.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I'm just blessed to be here. Appreciate you coming through, man, and just ready to get into it.
It's all good, brother. Now, you know, this is my first time here. Me and you, I mean, people don't know this. They think everything is probably scripted and staged, but this is my first time actually meeting you.
Right.
Never met you before, didn't know what you look like other than from Instagram. So what I get to know about you today, we're gonna all find out together.
No doubt.
So Flash MMA, man, like what was the foundation behind this? Where did it start? Like square one, what was your beginning process to build all of this right here, man?
Yeah, so step one, I was probably like 11 or 12. Me and my homeboy at the time was like watching UFC. We were only 2 people that would watch UFC and talk about it at school. And I don't know why, but I had these boxing gloves, like literally just, they said boom on them. Like you probably got them from like the dollar store or something.
Yeah.
And we would just watch fights and just like practice stuff in the backyard. From there, the backyard, me and my dad went and watched some fights at the Blackman Coliseum, like 2005. They had these 2 gyms out there. One was Universal, and they had the number on the program. I just begged my dad for like years, like, let me train. Like, I know I need to do this. I just felt it in my spirit. And long story short, I ended up signing up and got with my trainer, Harry Duyon. Was under him for years since I was 13 to like late 20s, and then COVID hit and I got laid off from my job, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was already doing it, so I opened up a gym, and the rest is history.
So I have a few questions based off of what you just told me, but so your first basically technique was boxing, your first area of concentration in the sport. That's what really got you interested, or were you big in MMA first?
So I used to watch The Contender.
Okay.
And I watched that before I watched MMA, and then I watched the Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner fight. No lie, I was more big into wrestling.
Okay.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was big in the WWE.
Cool.
And it was on Spike TV at the time, and then before the WWE, you know, they had the Ultimate Fighter playing.
Right.
So I was like, let me watch this until this comes on, and then I was just like, yo, forget WWE. Like, I need to figure out how to do this. This is amazing.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, so you was kind of like in your late 20s whenever COVID hit, and it was like, all right, I'm putting everything out there, everything on the line, going all in on this. Now, whenever you started, because, you know, you run a gym, not much is said about you being a fighter, but when you started, it was the intentions of being a fighter, or was it intentions of being a trainer?
Never wanted to be a trainer.
Never
I wanted to be a fighter, and I was just like, whatever I got to do to make it, like, whatever I got to do. I had a good amateur career. I had 2 belts, and then I turned pro around, I want to say I was 20 or 21. and I had just recently came off like the best performance I ever had. Like it was like I was in the Matrix. And like after I fought, I just didn't feel the same. I'm like, man, this is weird. They raised my hand. I'm like, I don't know. I felt burned out on it. And things happened in between. COVID happened, and it was just like, yo, like, what am I gonna do? Government started handing out these checks. You feel me? So like, I was stacking up that, and I was getting people into my gym because all the other gyms were closed. Where I was at was literally like maybe 900 square feet, ducked off. So like, I just had people coming in that I couldn't train, and like I just ran up a lot of clients that way. So like, COVID was like a come up for me.
Now, we all know the COVID side of the UFC. They had events going on during COVID. It's really the only sport that kept active. How was the COVID scene in the Louisiana area? Was there any events going on, or people were just training?
Nothing, man. The only fights that ever happened was UFC, and that was like, I was like, yo, I can't. I'm not in the UFC right now. I can't fight. And I just started like really going in, diving into training people.
Now, with you training people, was it with the intentions of potentially going back to fighting whenever everything opened back up, or were you like completely done with it?
Yeah, there was, honestly, before I opened up the gym, it was like I was about to move. Like I was about to move either to Houston or Denver, like somewhere where I could just be around people that do this and only do this, rather than people just doing it for a hobby. That way I can get pushed in the training room. And you know, COVID hit, and I already, before that, my trainer had pretty much was like, hey, like, I'm getting burned out on this. I'm gonna give you the keys to the fight team. You take over, kind of. And I was like, man, I got guys under me. If I leave them, I'm like, it won't sit right with me. And slowly, I just fell more in love with helping people out than hurting them.
That's right. Now, in the beginning, was it always Flash, or where's the inspiration behind the name?
All right, so this got some lore behind it too. So I remember we was doing an interview, me and two of my training partners. We were on the news, and I didn't have a nickname at the time. I never wanted no nickname.
Yeah.
And we had just watched The Other Guys. I don't know if you're familiar with The Other Guys. Okay, so we watched that, and it was the part where Gator came on. Gator was, you know who Gator was. So I was like, man, I thought it'd be funny if I just put Gator on as a nickname on the news, and it said it. And like my next fight after that, people were chanting Gator in the crowd, and I'm like, it's not even the animal, bro. And I was like, man, we gotta come up with something catchy.
Oh man.
And then we came up with Flash. I was ending my fights in like 30, 40 seconds, and I was known for my speed, so that's how it came along.
Now, aside from the training, as far as your MMA career was concerned, what do you feel was the most satisfaction that you got out of it, the actual competition side?
Competition side, I mean, just getting your hand raised, and just like all the hard work, all the sacrifice you put in, like, yeah, that was probably the most satisfying. That's why I told you, like, when I got my hand raised, I ain't feel nothing. I was like, this is weird.
Now, going back to what you said about you starting off after COVID, is this a different location than the one you started off with?
Oh yeah, we was in the trenches. Like we was in like 1,000 square foot building. We were right by like a garbage dump, and we just made it work, bro. We didn't have no AC. This is the first time I ever have AC. Like it's amazing.
Right. Now, how long did that process take from COVID in 2020 to where we're at now?
So I would say we were in that small place for like 2 years. And then my homeboy was doing detailing, like right across from that building, in a little bit bigger space. So we did 2 years there. So 2 years, small building, 2 years, bigger building. And this past August, we just moved here.
Oh, so this is fresh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to or excited about it from any of the clients that attend?
Yeah, I mean, we're right off Johnson Street. People know where we're at now. Before, like, you really had to know me or know somebody that trained to really know where we're at. Now we're like, best location we ever had.
Man, you being real humble right now, dog. Because I mean, I did a little bit of research on you, and I see like you, man. You do a lot for the community, man. Like, if you're a high school wrestler, do you offer anything in particular to those guys or kids?
Like, we have one of my fighters, man, Wiley Boudreaux. He's 2-time state champ, and he runs Monday and Wednesday wrestling, and we offer, like, if you're a current high school wrestler, you could come in, and if it's your off season, you can come practice, get better, and it's normal to have a couple state champions in here in the practice room that you can learn from. So.
That's right, dog. Flex your muscle a little bit. That's right. I mean, it's a product of your investment into them and their time and their career. So, I mean, you know, what you're doing right now is a reflection of what you have going on and is going to continue to bless others. So, as far as the scene as boxers, MMA guys, wrestlers, is it congested at times, or do you have a certain schedule to where you kind of like space them out? How does it work all together in one setting? How do you?
So my goal is as a gym, I want us to be proficient in every aspect. I don't want us to be known for one thing. We have Tony's boxing. I've worked with boxing coaches, people that you see in people's corners on TV, and working with Tony, he's the best coach I've ever worked with, and we have the blessing of him doing his thing. We got wrestlers that are proficient. We got kickboxers. We got jiu-jitsu. We got it all. So if you just want to grapple, we got that lane open for you. If you just want to box, we got that lane. If you want to mix it all together, we got that lane. So as a combat sports enthusiast or fan, we got everything for you.
That's all right, brother. Well, look, I ain't come here just to talk with you about what's going on in the area, but I also want to get you involved on what we got going on with this show. So you mind getting to cracking with me? You going to run the rest of the show with me?
Absolutely.
Let's get it, y'all. All right, y'all. So we're going to do this first segment of Correct Me If I'm Wrong. All right. This is something that we did last week, and we're going to keep it going this week with Zack. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that if you go straight street fighting rules, the most low-level MMA guy could beat the best boxer in a street fighter.
I'll say you're right. Yes and no. So to me, it all matters with their intentions, right? If you got a vicious dude versus somebody who's just point fighting, in the streets, there are no rules. You put somebody in a guillotine, somebody might shank you. You feel me? You don't know how many people you're fighting. But let's say it is boxing and MMA. Like I said, it just depends. If you have a guy like Terrence Crawford, who is a killer, you could just see it in his eyes, versus, I don't know, somebody who's an MMA guy who kind of just, I don't know, play it safe.
Middle of the pack, or
just play it safe.
All right, well, look, let's do this then. Let's go Ben Askren in his prime, street fighting rules against Terrence Crawford.
I'm going to tell you why Terrence Crawford going to win. I'm going to tell you off top, bro. Ben Askren going to try to wrestle, and he might try to call the cops at the same time. Crawford, you feel me, is going to gouge his eye out. And like I said, it's intentions, bro. You could see it when somebody got that killer instinct.
Right.
And bro, you can't, some of these things that you're doing in the cage, you can't do it out in the street, because like I said, there ain't no rules.
Right.
All right, cool. You're on your back and you got a triangle on me. I'm going to pick you up and slam you on the concrete.
Now, now mind you, Terrence Crawford,
he wrestled.
He wrestled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, Ben Askren trains MMA. I know that Terrence Crawford, when they talked about the Conor McGregor conversation of him potentially fighting Conor, he was like, yeah, bring him on. Just don't kick me.
Yeah, if it's a MMA fight, the MMA dude's always going to win.
Right.
But like I said, street is just so much different, because like I said, there are no rules. If you're playing by the rules, you could tell when somebody's in the cage and they're point fighting or they're trying to hurt you.
Okay.
Mike Perry's not trying to hurt you. You put Mike Perry in a street fight with a boxer, I'm picking Mike Perry.
Right.
He knows how to utilize all his tools, and he knows he's not gonna feel sorry for you.
So Joaquin Buckley, Terrence Crawford, street fight. Everything goes.
I'm sorry, bud, but I don't know, man. Buckley probably got that.
I agree.
He's got a Swiss knife, and Bud got one knife.
I agree. Now, look, let's play it into these rules. No wrestling, no kicks. Street fight you could tussle, you could grab, you could use hands, elbows, but none of the ground game, no kicks, just straight hands and clinch work. Bud Crawford,
We know the answer
Joaquin
to that.
Buckley.
Bud. Bud, one of the best, in my generation, Bud's the best to me. So,
Okay,
yeah. Game over.
Ilya Taporia,
Bud
Crawford.
Just hands?
Just hands.
Bud all day, bro. It's two. I know they do some of the same things in both sports, but like you taking the best. It'd just be like if Bud fought MMA.
Right.
Like Ilya would 30 seconds, you know?
Right. Now, let's go MMA minus the kicks, Bud and Topuria. Bud has the wrestling background, and, we've seen...
1 minute.
What?
1 minute,
Topuria
brother.
in a minute?
Yeah, bet the house. I'm not a bet man no more, but bet the house.
And you say that just because his ground game is more complete?
Bud don't know how to defend no triangle or armbar.
But
you on a mat.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
True. But he would have to get Bud down.
Oh, he's getting them down. He's getting them down, bro. Now, just because Bud has a wrestling background doesn't mean like he was one of the best to do it.
That's right. Now, as far as Ilya Topuria goes, he's coming back potentially to defend his throne. And do you see anybody slowing him down? This is kind of off subject to the boxing conversation, but in the lightweight division, do you think that he has the tools? Because I'm completely in line with what you've been saying so far.
Yeah.
Every matchup that you predicted, the way that it would go, I see it exactly the same.
Right.
But let's transition that into a fight with Islam Makhachev.
Islam, I feel like, is way too big right now at 170, and I don't think he's going to come back down. So I kind of rule that fight out. There's realistic fights for him. He's probably going to fight Justin Gaethje. He's probably going to fight Arman at some time. And I forget who else is out there, but if I was to create a perfect fighter on like 2K, like 99 overall, it'd be Ilya.
Yeah, right.
So he makes no mistakes. He could wrestle, and he could box, and he's got deadly calf kicks. So to answer your question, no, I don't see nobody messing with him.
Well, yeah, and then even Islam, man, because, all right, you had Volk fight against Islam, and he got up. He controlled the takedowns. You seen what Ilya did to Volk. Yeah. You also seen what Ilya did to Charles. You also seen what Ilya has done to Max, and you seen what Max did to Justin. So I know styles make fights, but as far as what you've seen with the level of guys who each of them competed against, I feel like, man, I wouldn't side with Ilya against Islam, but if Volk got that close to defeating Islam and Ilya is Ilya that left and come back in the same type of way, you can't rule him out. You can't rule him out at all.
I'll say this, all right, Islam striking is good because you got to worry about the takedown. Topuria striking is good without worrying about the takedown. That's the difference between those two that stand out to me.
Yeah. Now, Arman is, pretty well-rounded, same as what you would kind of get from Islam. Do you think how he would fare in a fight like that would change your mind? Like if he goes and then starches Arman in the first round?
Arman is a little reckless on the feet, but his pace, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu is really good. But like I said, man, fight starts on the feet, and if you got two good wrestlers, you've been watching it for a while, they're going to strike if they both get wrestlers.
Definitely.
So I have to go with Ilya. But I wouldn't sleep on Arman.
Right. Now, you might think differently in this one, but this is going to be the last matchup that I'm going to present to you for the boxer versus MMA guy conversation. Francis Ngannou, Deontay Wilder, boxing match. Who would you?
Whoever lands first. Both of them, I don't know. Flip a coin.
Gotcha.
Flip a coin. Whoever lands first.
Honestly, I'll take Francis.
I'd probably lean more with him.
I'd lean Francis. And reason why is because you don't know how serious Tyson Fury was when he fought.
Yeah, I don't really.
You don't know how serious he was, but you've seen what Anthony Joshua did to him. But you also seen how Francis looked. Francis doesn't look like no slouch on the feet.
No.
Francis seems like he could hold his own against a boxer, and plenty of people got starched. Deontay got starched like that before. But Deontay also is a brawler. He doesn't look to go and technically box you. So I favor that matchup just because I feel like. And I'm not trying to say that Deontay is not like a smart fighter, but you also know that the way that Francis boxes, he could kind of like lure him in. Plus, who's his boxer coach? Dewey Cooper? Is it?
Yeah, he messed with him, but he really got Nixick
Eric
Yeah,
Nixick, yep, that's true. He has Eric Nixick in his corner too. So I mean, I think that the coaching and as far as the confidence level right now, currently in their
oh yeah,
career,
yeah.
I feel like Ngannou would probably be the one MMA guy
He's got a
that
better
I could
chin.
definitively say would beat a boxer.
Mm.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's a good conversation to have. I mean, for those of y'all who don't know the recap of what's been going on, Shakur Stevenson, like I talked about last week, just got off a phenomenal performance against Teofimo Lopez. And he started doing a whole media run with Terrence Bud Crawford. And there was a question that posed about MMA guys and boxers. And, you know, obviously as a boxer, you're going to say that your skill set in any realm, in a street fight, that the boxer is going to take it all. Then you had a group of MMA guys that came into the scene, into the picture saying that, well, nah, in a street fight, you know, you can't take this, that, and the other from us. So we got y'all on lock. So this is a cool conversation to have. I'll post a few clips of fights and stuff and fighters that have been having this conversation, and y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll even post a poll after this episode drops to see what y'all think about it. Who do you think would win out of an MMA guy and a boxer? All right, so Zach, when you know, I got introduced to you, it was a DM on Instagram. I seen the kind of music that you were playing in the gym, and it was familiar to the type of stuff that I listen to, and it's pretty much faith-based, Christian hip-hop. And you know, I wanted to have this conversation with you. I know I sent you a playlist, and a lot of what was on your playlist was stuff that I was already listening to. But where did your faith journey begin? At what age?
I would say about probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
I had it's so crazy. I had a client I was training on and off for about a year. Didn't hear from him for like 6 months, and he emailed me. I never check my emails, like rarely. And he emailed me and wanted to do a session, and we did a session, and he basically preached the whole gospel to me. And at that time, I was more into, I believed in more like New Age stuff. And I was just like more on like, all right, if they have all of these religions, like why would one just be right? And he preached the gospel to me, and I was like, I don't know about none of that, bro. But if I'm saying all this, I gotta go read the Bible and see what's up, you know, to try to prove him wrong.
Right.
And what happened was when I read the Bible, it actually convicted me at every single thing I did, what I was doing at the time, and I felt like I was getting closer to the truth the more I read the Bible, and I realized I had a completely misunderstanding of it, and things happened that I can't even explain, and I felt God's presence, and from then on, I just never stopped following Him.
Now, in the beginning portion of you starting your gym, because this was post-COVID, whenever you ended up getting that deeper relationship with Christ, but do you feel like that preparation period of getting you to where you are now, do you think that all along the process was just you answering the call, or do you feel like...
Yeah, I think so. I always thought, ever since I started training, I was like, I'm gonna be a world champ. I'm gonna do all this. It was all about me, and it was like passion, right? And whenever I started training people and getting closer to them, it felt like purpose. And now that I'm more educated on who Jesus is and what He's done for my life, now I get close to these people. They come to me with a lot of questions where I don't have the answer to, and but I know who to redirect them to. That does, you know.
Right.
So I feel like it slowly, He showed me what I wanted wasn't going to fulfill me, and then He showed me through Him I would have peace. So.
Right. Now, do you feel like this was going on before you actually accepted the call, that Jesus had a call on your life? Did you feel that the people that you dealt with were comfortable coming to you to deal with their problems in certain situations that they were going through?
It was real heavy because I just felt like, man, I got to be there for these people, and it was a lot of pressure. And I mean, I've had a lot of stuff happen with training fighters. When I was with my trainer, I had a student who was fighting, and you know, she ended up committing suicide, and that was heavy on me. I was like, man, I always want to be there for people, and I never want them to feel like they're alone. You know what I mean? So like, I, like I said, sometimes I didn't have the answers to these people's problems, but now like I'm more than confident to point them to Jesus.
Now, when you gave your life over to Jesus and fully committed, whenever you went back to your members of the gym, did they notice that a transformation took place, or was it something that was kind of like gradual?
Those that were like following Jesus will definitely seen a change. And I mean, man, I used to have a really bad gambling problem, and like it's all I would talk about. And I'm pretty sure people got tired of hearing it. And I think once they see me stop gambling, stop like slowly stop cursing and things like that, I think people noticed. They funny thing is, God did plant a couple people in here that would always kind of tell me about God, and I was like, I don't know about that, but like they really were like, yo, this is crazy. Like it's amazing to see God work through. I call it his gym. This ain't my gym. It's amazing to see him work in people's lives and prayers get answered. But yeah, I've seen a kid that amazing. He's super talented and was probably 18 at the time, and just constantly getting into street fights. And I remember one day I'm teaching and I overhear him talking to somebody about a street fight. And I'm like, hey, buddy, you talk about another street fighter. I hear you getting in a street fight. You're out the gym. He's like, you for real? I'm like, yes. Because I genuinely cared about him. I didn't want to see him get hurt. And I've been down the path he's going. And, he started coming to Bible study. He'd always believed in God, but I feel like he didn't necessarily take those steps forward or have people to hold him accountable. And now, man, sometimes if I can't make it or the guy who leads it can't make Bible study, I had him fill in one time. And it's just amazing to see, like, he don't even go out anymore. He quit drinking. Like, it was pretty cool to see. But we have multiple, I mean, my wife, like, her story is crazy.
As an athlete, why do you think that it's important to have a relationship with Jesus? And what's the most important thing about having that relationship with Jesus as an athlete?
Man, the most important thing is, because I fell victim of this when I was fighting, is I idolized my career. And it came first. It had my heart. Everything uh, was about fighting. And when you put Jesus first, you won't fall short of that temptation of, man, I'm willing to do everything just to accomplish this goal. Like it's just in His will, and whatever happens, happens. There's no pressure with that. What I didn't accomplish in fighting, when I started training people, I had this chip on my shoulder to just like take it as far as I could, and slowly, like when I train fighters and stuff like that, I cared less about how far they're going to take their career and more about where their soul was going. You know what I mean? And yeah, to answer your question, like it's way more fulfilling to see somebody not have their career just hold them down in chains and just see them walk in freedom through God. The most important thing is like when people see whatever we're doing and they're trying to uplift us, we just be like, hey, it was God, it wasn't us. He's just working through us. All glory goes to him. I'm reading the Bible. I was hard headed. Everybody told me to start in Mathiew, and I started in at the very beginning in Genesis. And some of the things I was reading, bro, it was just like, wow, this is what I'm going through. And I started at the very beginning, and yeah, like I said, I was big into just new age stuff and like Moses and the Pharaoh. Like it showed like, hey, like this stuff works, but nobody can trump God. So there's a lot of things I'm just like, and then my wife getting saved, like that was a wrap after that. Like
I know being able to lead by example is very important. And I also know that you guys have a young daughter who just turned 1, so happy birthday to her. But as a parent under Christian leadership, how important is it implementing Christ at home? And how do you guys do it? Is it like Bible study style, like you do in the gym? What are your techniques to being able to parent?
so none of us like really, me and her, we didn't really grow up in the church and stuff like that, and so we always say like our parents did the best they could, but like we could raise our daughter, you know, through God and just give her a solid foundation at an early age. Even my guys who come here and they're following Jesus at like 16 years old, I'm like, bro, I started 3 years ago. Like you're way ahead of it.
Hey, Zach, I appreciate you, man, for allowing me in your space, taking the time out to speak with me. We got to learn a lot about you on today. You know, if anybody is in the Lafayette area looking for a gym home, looking for somebody to train with who's going to meet you on the level that you're at, nothing but good things to say about this brother right here. Zach, is there anything that you want to promote or anything you want to say about the gym, anything that's up and coming?
Yeah, we got a couple guys fighting in March for CWC, and then April for Titan. So be on the lookout for those guys. We got a lot of young talent coming up, and yeah, if they train on it here, just follow their careers, support them, and yeah.
So, I mean, before we go, we have a big UFC card coming up this weekend, UFC Houston, close to home. Just your quick take on it. Anything that you are interested in? Anybody that stands out to you on that card?
Yeah, I think the Zachary Reese versus Michelle Pereira, that fight stands out to just be a barn burner.
That's right.
Zachary Reese, bunch of knockouts, first round. Michelle Pereira, you already know you're getting crazy stuff from him. So those two, when I seen it got announced, yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch.
Now, how's your feeling about the main card? What do you think out of Fluffy Hernandez and Sean Strickland?
I think Sean has to rely on Fluffy getting tired in the third, fourth, and fifth. And I just don't know if that's going to happen, man. But I'm interested to see if he can or can't, you know.
Yeah, I'm most excited about the Carla Judice fight against Juliana Miller. It's a fight that was supposed to happen a few years back. Juliana, she ended up getting injured, and now they rebooked it. Juliana, I'm familiar with her from the Ultimate Fighter series, and Carly, she's started her career off in the UFC with some questionable losses that I thought went her way. But ever since then, she's been cracking. She's been knocking them out, getting some bonuses, and I don't feel like that momentum is going to die down. So I got Carla Judice as my fight to watch and as my fighter who I think will put on the most exciting fight of the night. Correct me if I'm biased. But also, I agree that Sean Strickland really has to come mentally and physically prepared to be able to handle what Fluffy has to bring. I don't think that it will be enough. I do think he's well coached, and I think he has the mental advantage, but Fluffy is just on another level, so skilled right now, and I think that he's trying to make a major push at that title. So, yeah, we're just going to have to watch and find out.
Thanks.
Zach, appreciate you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Appreciate you.
Good meeting you.
You too,
Learned
man.
a lot about you, and y'all, stay tuned for what's coming up in the future with what the gym has going on. Appreciate y'all for tuning in again. As always, like, subscribe. We're going to see y'all next week. Thank y'all for making this possible. We out.
I could be gone today.